Hi, I'm Donna Estin, a knitwear designer and certified master knitter. I am also the instructor of the Knitwear Design Certification Program with TKGA. And this is picking up stitches on a horizontal edge. So I want to first show you the horizontal edge. This is using the basic bind off. So you see that these little V's that lay across the top? If you were to pick up underneath each V, you can see that you are picking up under this stitch which lies across, not through a stitch itself. It's just a space here. If you're doing a sweater where you're adding ribbing, and your sweater is quite heavy, it's with cables or cotton, or it's a long oversized garment, that is going to pull out. And you're going to have an ugly gap between there and the rest of your knitting. You don't want that. What you want to do is you want to pick up the stitches, not the gaps between these. You want to pick up the stitch. The stitches are these V's. So you see we have each stitch is a V. And the center of the stitch is the center of the V. So you can go across, here's the next V, here's the next V, and these are then the centers of it. When you're picking up along an edge, you want to go on that very top row. The reason is, if you pick up below, let's say I'm picking up here, I'm going to have a very thick selvage up there, which is going to be noticeable if you're doing a neckband. You don't want all this extra thickness with your pickup stitches. So you want to pick up through the center of the V in that last row of knit stitches before you bound off. The center of the V is the center of the stitch. Now when you're picking up in the center of the stitch, you've got much more stability there. So your neckline is going to stay put. The first and last stitches are always a little wonky, but if you turn it to the side, you can see. So you're going to put your needle right through the center of the V. I'm going to use a different colored yarn to make it a little easier to see. And you pick up that first stitch. We're going to go to the second stitch, center of the V, and insert it from front to back. Draw through a loop as if you're going to knit. Center of the V from front to back, and draw through a loop. You're always going into that last row of stitches that were worked before you bound off in the center of the V. Center of the V from front to back. Center of the V from front to back. You're not going to worry about this top edge. That is just the stitches that are lying on the side as they've been bound off. But you want to pick up the stitch, not the gap, not these gaps. See, not these gaps. You want to pick up the actual stitch. Now let me work across this wrong side row. I want to show you what it looks like. And our last stitch. Okay. You can see how the stitches continue. Here's a column of V's, and the stitches that were worked and the stitches that were picked up continue almost seamlessly. So you can see now, if you had that, these continue all the way up. The columns continue all the way up. It looks like there's no interruption in your stitches. And if you had the same color, you wouldn't see any interruption at all. It's going all the way up. And it's stable. On the wrong side, get this out of the way, our selvage edge is thin because we've just picked up inside that last row of stitches. You can see how nice and thin it keeps the bulk down. So if you're working a ribbing on top of it, you just have this nice line here on the edge. And there's the ribbing on top. So that's how to pick up along a horizontal edge.